Imagine coming home after a grueling day at work. The sun dipping low over your quiet suburban neighborhood. Only to hear a deafening crash echoing from your driveway. Your heart pounds like a drum as you bolt outside. And there she is, your nightmare neighbor. Karen. Swinging a massive hammer at your beloved car like it's some kind of piñata. Glass shatters everywhere. The metallic thud reverberating through the air. And in that split second, all the pent-up frustration from months of her HOA tyranny boils over. What would you do if someone destroyed your property right in front of your eyes? Let me take you back to how this all started. My name's Alex. And I just moved into this cozy little cul-de-sac in Maplewood Estates about a year ago. It was supposed to be a fresh start after my divorce, nice house. Friendly vibes. You know the drill. But oh boy. Was I wrong. The air always carried that fresh-cut grass smell mixed with the faint scent of barbecues on weekends. But lurking beneath it was the HOA enforcer herself, Susan. She wasn't just any Karen, she was the queen bee of the homeowners association. Strutting around with her clipboard like it was a scepter. Susan had this pinched face. Always twisted in disapproval. And her voice? Sharp as a whip crack. Slicing through conversations with rules and fines. At first, it was small stuff. Alex. Your mailbox is 2 inches too high, violation, she'd bark. Her heels clicking on the pavement like warning shots. I'd sigh deeply. Feeling that familiar knot in my stomach. And adjust it just to keep the peace. But why did she care so much? Was it power? Loneliness? Who knows? But her nitpicking escalated faster than a summer storm. One day, she fined me for leaving my recycling bin out an hour past curfew. The next, it was my garden gnomes, tacky and non-compliant, she'd screech. Her breath hot with that coffee and judgment aroma. I remember standing there. Hands on hips. The evening breeze rustling the leaves. Thinking, is this really my life now? Things got real heated when I decided to paint my front door a cheerful red. Oh. The horror. Susan stormed over the very next morning. Her face flushed redder than the paint itself. This is an outrage. The bylaws clearly state neutral tones only, she yelled. Waving her arms like a windmill in a gale. The neighborhood dogs barked in the distance. As if joining the chorus of chaos. I tried reasoning, Susan. It's just a door. Add some personality. Right? But she wasn't having it. Her eyes narrowed to slits. And she huffed. You'll regret this. Alex. Mark my words. That threat hung in the air like smoke from a dying fire. Making my skin prickle with unease. Little did I know. She meant it literally. As weeks turned into months. The tension built like pressure in a shaken soda can. I'd catch her glaring from her window across the street. Curtains twitching like nervous eyelids. The sound of her garage door creaking open became my daily dread signal. Neighbors whispered about her, old Mr. Jenkins next door would lean over the fence. His voice gravelly from years of smoking. Saying, watch out for that one. Son. She's got a vendetta against anyone who doesn't bow down. And bow down. No way. I started pushing back. Attending HOA meetings with printed bylaws in hand. Questioning her every decree. Why can't we have holiday lights up a week longer? I'd ask. My voice steady but my palms sweaty. The room would fall silent. Chairs scraping awkwardly. As Susan's glare bored into me like laser beams. One twist I didn't see coming. Turns out Susan had a history. During one heated meeting. Amid the fluorescent buzz of the community center lights and the stale coffee smell wafting around. A quiet lady named Maria piped up. Susan. Remember when you fined me for my bird feeder? Well. I found out you approved your own exception for that gaudy fountain in your yard. Gasps rippled through the crowd. And Susan's face turned ashen. It was like watching a balloon deflate, poof. Her authority cracked just a bit. But instead of backing off, she doubled down. "That's different," she snapped, slamming her gavel with a resounding thunk that echoed off the walls. Oh! The hypocrisy! It fueled my fire, making every interaction feel like a battlefield. The breaking point came on a crisp Saturday afternoon. I'd parked my car, a reliable old sedan I'd babied for years, in the driveway, waxing it under the warm sun. The scent of car polish mixed with blooming flowers nearby, and birds chirped cheerfully overhead. I stepped inside for a quick water break, the cool AC a relief against my sweaty brow. That's when it happened. A sickening smash jolted me back outside. My heart raced, thump, thump, like it was trying to escape my chest. There was Susan, hammer in hand, eyes wild with fury, bringing it down on my windshield. Crack! Spiderwebs of glass spread like veins. "This is for defying the rules," she screamed, her voice cracking with rage. Shards flew, tinkling on the concrete like deadly rain. I froze for a second, the world narrowing to that horrific scene. "What the hell are you doing?" I bellowed, charging forward. The hammer swung again, thud, denting the hood with a grotesque groan of metal. Neighbors emerged, phones out, murmurs rising like a swarm of bees. "Call the cops," someone yelled. Susan turned to me, hammer raised, breathing heavily, sweat beading on her forehead. "You think you're above the law? This neighborhood is mine to protect." Her words dripped with venom, but I could see the madness in her eyes, the kind that comes from unchecked power gone sour. In that moment, adrenaline surged through me like electricity. I dodged her next swing, the whoosh of air brushing my ear, and grabbed my phone from my pocket. "You're done, Susan. This ends now." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder, piercing the afternoon haze. Police arrived in a blur of blue lights and authoritative voices. "Ma'am." "Drop the weapon," an officer commanded, his tone firm as steel. Susan hesitated, hammer trembling in her grip, then let it clatter to the ground with a final, defeated clang. Handcuffs clicked shut, snap, and she was led away, muttering curses under her breath. The crowd watched in stunned silence, the air thick with the acrid smell of shattered dreams and twisted metal. But wait. Here's where the real twist kicks in. As the cops hauled her off, I overheard her yelling about how I'd ruined everything. Ruined what? Turns out, digging deeper with the help of a few sympathetic neighbors, we uncovered her dirty secrets. Susan wasn't just enforcing rules, she was bending them for kickbacks. Emails surfaced, juicy, incriminating ones, showing she'd taken bribes from contractors to overlook violations in exchange for favors. The fountain Maria mentioned, paid for by a shady landscaper who'd skipped permits. And my red door? It blocked her view of a rival neighbor's yard she was feuding with. Petty? Absolutely. But it was the spark that ignited her hammer-wielding meltdown. I pressed charges that very day, my hands shaking as I signed the forms at the station. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, and the officer nodded sympathetically. "We've seen this before. Power trips gone wrong. Back home." Surveying the wreckage, glass crunching underfoot, the car's frame mangled like a crushed can, I felt a wave of exhaustion wash over me. Sigh. Why do people like her exist? To test us? To make us stronger? I spent the evening on the phone with insurance. Voices tinny through the speaker, while the neighborhood buzzed with gossip. Texts poured in, "You okay?" She finally snapped. It was cathartic. In a weird way. Like lancing a boil. The court date loomed like a storm cloud. 2 months later. I prepped meticulously, gathering witness statements, photos of the damage, each shard a testament to her insanity. The repair bill? Over $5,000. Ouch. Walking into the courthouse. The marble floors echoing my footsteps. The air cool and sterile with a hint of old paper. I spotted Susan. She looked smaller. Deflated. Her usual prim outfit rumpled. No clipboard now, just a lawyer whispering in her ear. The judge. A no-nonsense woman with glasses perched on her nose. Called the case. Destruction of property. Vandalism, how do you plead? Susan's voice wavered. Not guilty. Your Honor. It was. A misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I nearly laughed out loud. The prosecutor laid it out, videos from neighbors' ring cams. The hammer with her fingerprints. My testimony. I took the stand. Voice steady despite the butterflies in my gut. She swung that hammer like she wanted to erase me from the neighborhood, I said. Reliving the crash. The fear. The outrage. The courtroom was hushed. Save for the occasional cough or shuffle of papers. Susan's defense. She claimed I provoked her with ongoing violations. But the judge wasn't buying it. Provocation doesn't justify vigilantism, she declared. Her gavel poised. Then came the bombshell, those emails. Maria and others testified. Unveiling the corruption. Susan's face crumpled. Tears streaming as the reality hit. I was just trying to keep order, she sobbed. But it rang hollow. The judge's eyes hardened. Order. This is chaos you created. Verdict, guilty. Sentenced to community service. Restitution for my car. And, sweet justice, removal from the HOA board. As she was led out. Head bowed. I felt a rush of vindication. Karma. Folks, it's real. And it hits harder than any hammer. But let's pause here. Why share this wild tale? Because in the end, it's not just about a smashed car or a deranged neighbor. It's about standing up when someone's boot is on your neck. I rebuilt, not just the car. Shiny and new now. Parked proudly in my driveway, but my sense of community. We reformed the HOA. Electing fair folks who focus on helping. Not harassing. Neighbors wave hello without fear. Barbecues happen without fines. And that red door? It's still there. Bold as ever. If you're dealing with a Karen in your life, remember, document everything. Stay calm. Fight back with facts. Not fury. Justice might take time. But when it comes, oh man, it's satisfying. Sigh of relief. The sun sets a little brighter now. The air fresher. Who's ready to paint their door whatever color they want? Yeah. That's the spirit. Life's too short for tyrants, let's build better neighborhoods. One victory at a time.